Hello and good morning. This is Ian here. Hello, how are you doing? Um, uh, for the next edition of the podcast, which is relating to my book, my autobiography, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. In this edition, we're going to talk about um, several things. Um, One of the things is recently I've been going to a bike park to use the adapted wheelchair, the mountain trike, which I will be using in a few weeks to go up Mount Snowdon. I'm going up Mount Snowdon in aid of REMAP and Mitochondria Awareness and the Lilly Foundation. The Lilly Foundation is one of the mitochondria charities that I'm involved with, and I emailed them the other day saying, after this is all finished, what can I do? Can I help? Because I want, if I don't help the Lilly Foundation, I want to make it more aware that even though I'm in a wheelchair, I am visually impaired as well, because not many people are aware of that, and I've tried making my hood caps white and things like that, and I want to make something like hood caps. If you've got white hood caps or something on your wheelchair, that means you're visually impaired as well. And the response, I spoke to the RNIB, and their response was, well, there's only a couple of you out there, so we can't run a campaign. But anyway, we'll try and get onto that later on in the year, certainly after the Snowdon climb is finished. I'm going up Mount Snowdon on the 28th of June. So if you want to back me and sponsor me, you can do so through my website, which there'll be a link on my website to Just Giving sites, and it is for Mitochondria Awareness, the Lilly Foundation, and REMAP. REMAP make bespoke gadgets for disabled people or older people, things that aren't available on the shelf that you may need to buy, or that you can't buy because they're not available. So REMAP can make what you need or whatever you're struggling with. And yeah, but earlier this month I went to the urban bike park, where, as I say, I used a mountain trike. And then last week I went to Huddersfield, and it was like we worked a route out through this wooded area for wheelchairs to go through the wood, and but it was more realistic to Snowdon because the terrain was a bit more harder to get over, and at the first time at the bike park I used the E version with the motor on. Then I spoke to my team that are going up Snowdon with me, and the leader turned around and said, we can't use the E version because when we're climbing Snowdon, there might be points when they have to lift the wheelchair, and if we've got the E version, the E machine will be heavier. So even though I was in the E version in the woods, I would not put the power on, and I don't think one of the people in charge was very happy about that. But that was just how it was going to be. So that was a really good experience, and I'm going back to the urban bike park another couple of times before the end of June, and then next in a few weeks' time we're going to Glaston Budget. I've got a friend of my nephew's that's coming with me to Glaston Budget. When I was skiing a few weeks ago, um, one of the people that was skiing and her mum and dad were there, and a few years ago she went to Glastonbury, and Beyonce came over and spoke to her, and I thought, heck, I'm going to the wrong thing here. But anyway, we're going to Glastonbury at the end of May. So I've never done like a big festival before, like over a few days. So that's going to be an experience and a half. Is that staying in a tent for 2 or 3 days? I mean, I've been camping before, but not to a music festival. So that's going to be right good fun. And then as I say, we've got the mountain climb. As I was saying, if you want to sponsor us, you can do through the website. There's just giving information on through the podcast and through the website. So and then I will hopefully be going to Edinburgh to the Fringe, and providing it lands when I can manage to do it, I'll be doing the triathlon as well. There's a adapted triathlon for disabled people that happens in London every year. So hopefully I've been speaking to some of my team who usually do the triathlon with us, to make sure that they're all geared up for doing it, which they all seem to be. So that's happening in early August and just before Edinburgh. So we've got a packed year coming up. If you want to, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please go have a look at my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds, and hopefully I'll speak to you again in a few weeks' time. Where are we? So as I say, if you enjoyed this podcast, please go and read my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. Anyway, thank you for listening, and see you soon. Goodbye.